Just ahead on CTV News tonight, state leaders and activists gather in Annapolis for Protect Week. Plus, the county continues to celebrate Pride Month.
I'm Byron Scott at the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building, where Prince George's County is proud for Pride. That story coming up.
And Simon Buggs has your Monday sports page. Those stories and more. CTV News starts now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, June 10th. I'm Katara Jones.
And I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us.
Attorney General Anthony Brown and other state officials are bringing attention to one of the most pervasive forms of abuse committed against elders: fraud.
1 in 5 adults over 65 has been the victim of fraud, which could be perpetrated by strangers or someone they trust. In honor of Protect Week and Elder Abuse Awareness Day, people victimized by scams shared their stories.
I was victimized in an FBI imposter scam. The consequences of this event has changed everything in my life permanently and forever. My husband is 79 and I'm nearly 80. There is little time to recoup the over $500,000 in cash I lost in IRAs and savings.
Judith Boivin's story, unfortunately, isn't rare. According to AARP Maryland, seniors lose $2.9 billion a year to identity thieves, con artists, and through exploitation by family or caregivers. Today kicked off Protect Week, an annual initiative that aims to raise awareness about how to spot and combat elder financial abuse.
We're sharing information and resources to help keep our seniors and their hard-earned money safe.
The Consumer Protection Division offers these tips to seniors. Don't answer unknown callers. If you do and have suspicions about the person on the other end, hang up. Be stingy with your personal information and keep an eye on your credit reports and statements.
My father, an educated man, he was a medical doctor, in his early 80s, was scammed for hundreds of thousands. He never called his lawyer-educated son, that would be me, either before, during, or after the scam. I only learned of the scam when he passed away, and he, no doubt, was embarrassed.
That embarrassment might stop elders from reporting what's happened to them, and according to AARP, 93% of elder abuse cases go unreported.
When we don't report these crimes, we give these despicable scum a pass.
World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is June 15th, and the Protect Week initiative will be hosting events and learning opportunities until the 17th. And a report ranking the well-being of children in each state shows Maryland falling behind, coming in at 22nd, 1 place lower than last year and 3 lower from the year before. The report bases its rankings on categories like economic well-being, education, health, and family and community. 1 place Maryland fell behind was in education, where the state's problems with chronic absenteeism impacted its score. But Maryland is still in the top half of states and showed good results, with comparatively few children living in households below the poverty line or with parents without secure employment.
A 25-year-old Upper Marlboro man has been found guilty in connection with the stabbing death of a man outside a restaurant. The crime happened in October 2022 outside Famous Lounge in Upper Marlboro. Investigators say Joshua Anderson got into an altercation with Ian Persuade. The court found that Anderson stabbed Persuade numerous times, killing him. Anderson had a bench trial. A judge found him guilty of voluntary manslaughter.
And the reason why he found him guilty of voluntary manslaughter was that he found that the force used by him pulling out a knife and stabbing the victim multiple times, that was more force than was reasonable under the circumstances to defend himself in this case.
Anderson will be sentenced in September. Police are investigating the shooting death of a 14-year-old, Kamaya Farrell. Farrell and 2 surviving adult victims were shot on the 6600 block of Atwood Street just before 2 p.m. on May 31st. Farrell died from her injuries on June 5th. The 2 adults suffering non-life-threatening injuries and are expected to be okay. Investigators do not believe Farrell was the intended target. Anyone with information on this case is asked to call 1-866-411-TIPS. A cash reward of up to $2,500 is being offered for information leading to an arrest and indictment in this case.
And Prince George's Fire and EMS respond to a fire on the 7300 block of Hastings Drive in Landover last night. The fire was at a 1-story single-family home. It was put out without incident and no injuries reported. Investigators have not yet released the cause of the fire.
And still to come on CTV News, a local nonprofit hosts a health fair for county residents with special needs.
We'll have all the details after the break.
We hear the stories of people forced to abandon their home. The stories of people whose dreams have been swept away, or their lives left hanging by a thread. Or whose worlds have been blasted apart. Although the stories repeat themselves, each person's experience is unique as they are. And whether it's care or community that people need, we're here to help them live a new chapter, to embrace what makes them unique, be a lifeline to the most vulnerable.
Out! Out! Everybody out! Come on!
Good job. Under 2 minutes.
Keep your loved ones safe from home fires. Practice a 2-minute drill until it's part of your routine. And test your smoke alarms monthly.
In America, millions of families are facing hunger. After rent and power, I can get groceries. It's sad to say food comes last. Anna from Texas. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. Pride Month celebrations continue in Prince George's County.
Earlier today, the county executive hosted an event to let residents know what her office is doing to reach out to that community.
We're slowly making progress here. I feel like, the more people see what LGBTQ is, the more understanding, the more, people will say, oh, okay, this is what it is.
There were many stories like that at today's Pride event at the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building.
We have been, and I want you to know that we will continue to be very purposeful in our outreach and our collaboration efforts with our LGBTQIA+ community.
The Office of the County Executive hosted the event, highlighting its outreach efforts to the LGBTQIA+ community.
Over the years, I see a lot more inclusion. I see we're actually being heard. And like when we sent out these pins, most of the department jumped on them. They grabbed these pins. Even though they're not part of the community, they're showing that they are supportive of us and the movement, and that made me so proud.
Last weekend, the Prince George's County Police Department held our 2nd annual Pride Walk, which speaks volumes for our progress, bringing all communities together tonight as one, under one purpose, which was pride.
It may be hard to imagine an event like this taking place 10 years ago, but organizers say this is a new day, a day of inclusion.
The message in this room today is about embracing diversity and understanding that everyone is not the same, everyone does not look the same, everyone does not love the same, but just being able to embrace the individual, the person.
One of the things you may soon see around the county are signs which read, in this space.
Oftentimes people ask what safe spaces are, and that's a space where an LGBTQ person can go and simply just be themselves and not have to worry. So we're identifying businesses and organizations where they can convey and not have to worry about their surroundings or if they would be attacked or challenged.
Among the attendees today were high schoolers.
I came out because I'm the president of my GSA for Largo High, and I came to show my support for the LGBTQ.
So this is a process that is ongoing, but we will not stop working to make sure that this society is as welcoming as it should be.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
Meantime, Montgomery County leaders gathered to kick off Pride Month today. Take a look at your screen. This is the scene in Rockville during last year's Pride flag raising ceremony.
Today, County Executive Mark Elrich, the County Council, and members of the LGBTQ+ community took part in the 6th annual event this morning. Leaders continue to tout Montgomery as a welcoming place for all people, regardless of gender or sexual orientation.
All of us here lead with compassion, with inclusion, to celebrate our diversity, to make sure that our residents love each other, respect each other, and accept each other. That is what Pride is all about. That is what Montgomery County is all about, and that is the work that all of us have been doing.
Glass is the first openly gay person to serve on the county council. A local shopping center has been the recent target of car robberies. Largo Plaza, located here on the 11,000 block of Campus Way South, has been dealing with several car break-ins. According to reports, multiple vehicles have been broken into in the parking lot near the Phoenix Salon Suites, which is located right next to the popular Giant grocery store. CTV News spoke to shoppers who are concerned about the uptick in crime.
I'm just surprised to hear about this. So if that is happening, I think we need enough security over here, because people that it happened to, it's not that, they wish for it to happen with them.
I don't know what the solution is, because you can't throw especially young kids in jail for extended periods of time. They only learn how to become even worse in life. And at the same time, it's just driving everybody crazy in the neighborhood, everyone crazy. So there's going to be a reaction one way or the other.
I think that we need more patrol people. I think that people need to talk with their children, need to be responsible for their children. I think we need, of course, more jobs.
Meantime, an organization focused on addressing the needs of county residents with intellectual and development disabilities had a festival this past weekend. The group, known as the ARC Prince George's County, held its 3rd annual Ready to Be Healthy Festival last Saturday. The event connected young county residents with special needs with fitness and wellness activities. Officials say this year's theme shines a light on the importance of the special needs community, focusing on their own mental health.
We want people to learn how to have strategies to improve their mental health. So that's why we have the sound bath going on, which is meditative, and learning how sounds can heal your body. We're in the wellness room where you can develop a de-stressor plan, and you can experience some of these just items that you should have just in case you have a moment where you're not feeling good or something's triggered you. What is your self-care plan?
The ARC Prince George's has been serving the county's special needs community since 1952. And still to come, Metro breaks records over the weekend.
We have the numbers. Don't go away.
An author once said, before you have a dog, you can't quite imagine what living with one might be like. And afterwards, you can't imagine living any other way. I don't know evil, jealousy, or hate. To sit with a dog on a glorious day is like heaven. Where doing nothing isn't boring, it's peaceful. When the right dog finds the right human, it's as if it always was and always will be. They protect each other, love each other, teach each other. More importantly, they never let the other down.
Police are investigating a fatal road accident that claimed the life of a 62-year-old man in District Heights. Willie Evans Jr. was struck late Friday night at the intersection of Pennsylvania Avenue and Forestville Road. Evans died on the scene. Reports say the driver was traveling north on Pennsylvania Avenue when he struck Evans. The driver remained on the scene.
This weekend, Metro saw the highest number of riders since the pandemic. More than 650,000 commuters rode on buses and trains. Officials attribute this influx in ridership to the Capitol Pride Parade, which saw 418,000 riders use the rail service on Sunday alone, making it the highest weekend day since the Nationals World Series parade. That is also the highest number for a Pride Parade since 2012. The McPherson and U Street stations were the highest and busiest with 31,000 commuters.
Well, Costco plans to stop selling books year-round starting 2025. According to the New York Times, the major retailer made this decision because of increased costs for workers to stock the books. Costco will still sell books through the holiday season, that's September to December, and the move could cost publishers because the wholesalers' bulk orders can be as high as hundreds of thousands of copies of a single book. Hardcover nonfiction, cookbooks, and box sets of children's books are some of the popular books at Costco.
Whether you see a hairstylist once a week or once a year, we all value the professional men and women who make up this beautiful, but what happens when there's a global pandemic or your hairstylist sprains a wrist and can't do their job. CTV News stopped by the DMV Stylist and Barber Extravaganza to discover how stylists can prepare for unforeseen circumstances and still bank on success.
I said, let me introduce this to the people in the beauty industry, because so many of us think we have it going on and we're just going on and on about our day, and we just don't think that we can be hit with these challenges and that it'll knock us off our feet, and we don't know where we'll go.
No matter what's to come down the line, any unforeseen circumstances such as getting too sick or, God forbid, another pandemic comes, we want people to be in a position where they have a plan B outside of doing hair or cutting hair, right, or doing being able to use their gifts.
And now Simon Buggs has a sneak peek of your Monday sports page.
And I hear there's some big news out of the world of women's basketball.
What's up, sports fans? Hope you had a good weekend. And coming up on your Monday sports page, some players from the Bowie Bay Sox give their thoughts on what's gone into their productive seasons, and a former Terp gets the chance to represent her country. Stay right there.
Anyone can have asthma, but for Black and African American people, the odds are higher. They have the highest asthma rates in the U.S., and they are more likely to face serious problems that make them need to go to the hospital. The good news? If you have asthma, you can take steps to help keep it under control and live a full and active life. Know the signs and symptoms. Coughing, wheezing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. Talk to a healthcare provider about what triggers your symptoms and work together on an asthma action plan. Your asthma action plan will show you when to take your medicines, what to do in an emergency, and how to know when your asthma is under control. Don't let asthma slow you down. Visit nhlbi.nih.gov/breathe better.
All right, sports fans, grab a seat because it's time for your Monday sports page. We begin with some minor league baseball news. This Bowie Bay Sox roster is loaded with talented players that are all trying to make a name for themselves in the minor leagues. And two players in particular who are making a name for themselves this season is outfielder Judd Fabian and pitcher Kyle Brnovich. Fabian is currently leading the team in runs with 32, and Brnovich is second on the team in strikeouts with 56. I was able to catch up with the two ball players, and they explained to me what has gone into them having their respective seasons.
It's just the work we put in every day. We put in a lot of work every day before the game, especially in spring training. We did a lot of work, so just kind of putting that to use during games. That's been the biggest factor for that. Just, we're around a great group of guys, so it's super competitive every day. So if one guy goes out and performs, the next guy's trying to do a little bit better. So it's that good culture and that good environment of competing and trying to get the best out of everybody.
Bowie is currently 29 and 27, making them the 4th seed in the Southwest Division of the Eastern League. And Brnovich touched on what he wants to continue to see from his squad as the season goes on.
It's a long season, super, super long, so continuing to stay healthy and continuing to compete is going to be the main focus and goal, and just staying on top of, all those small things that add up over the course of, the days, the weeks, the season.
Fabian, Brnovich, and the rest of the Bay Sox were in action yesterday and shut out the Binghamton Rumble Ponies 3-0. Their next series will be against the Harrisburg Senators beginning tomorrow at 6:30. Moving on to the world of women's basketball, congratulations to former Terp Alyssa Thomas for being named to the USA roster for the Olympic Games. This is the first time Thomas will be playing in the Olympics, as well as UMD's first Olympian in over 30 years. Thomas suited up for the Lady Terps from 2010 to 2014 and was selected 4th overall in the 2014 draft by the New York Liberty before being traded to the Connecticut Sun. The 4-time All-Star competed in the Women's Olympic qualifying tournament earlier this year, helping her team go 3-0. And during that span, she averaged 9 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. Thomas and the rest of Team USA will take the court in the Olympics from July 28th to August 11th. And moving on to the major leagues, the Baltimore Orioles will wrap up their series against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight at 6:50. And the Washington Nationals won their final game of their series against the Atlanta Braves yesterday, 8-5. The Nats will take the diamond again versus the Detroit Tigers tomorrow at 6:40. And that wraps up your Monday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. Now let's take a look at your sunny 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 60. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, but there is a chance of showers between 1 and 2 p.m. with a high of 79 and a low of 60.
Wednesday, mostly sunny. Temps will rise to 85 during the day and fall to 64 at night. Thursday, sunny and hot. Temps will reach a scorching 91 degrees and drop to 72. And now for your community calendar, come out to the Bowie Center for the Performing Arts for tons of laughs as Joe Claire presents Bangin' in Bowie.
The show features Cheryl Underwood, Kyle Irby, and Mike Washington. It takes place June 29th with 2 shows, one at 7 and the other at 9:30 p.m. For more information, call 301-805-6880.
And that wraps up CTV News for now. I'm Mariah Jalad.
And I'm Katara Jones. Join us again tomorrow for more local news. Have a good night.
To a child battling a critical illness, a wish can feel like a dream. But with your help, it isn't out of reach. Wishes are an important part of medical treatment. A chance for kids to see themselves stronger, braver, to see that the impossible is possible. Wishes can give kids the strength to fight to get better, to grow up. Where there's a wish, there's a way.